This is every secret in the Kingdom Hearts 4 Coco trailer, as we just received a plethora of Kingdom Hearts news at D23, including 2 different trailers for Kingdom Hearts 4. The first being the reveal of Coco during the Disney Entertainment Showcase, and then we got the extended version during the Kingdom Hearts panel. And once again, I was totally normal about this.
Oh, Sora! Sora's Kingdom Hearts! It's Kingdom Hearts and Coco! Oh,
Now we're gonna take a look at these trailers and see all the different secrets we can find. We got 4 minutes of beautiful Kingdom Hearts 4 to take a look at, and we've been waiting 4 long years for this moment right here. But before I get into it, let me know in the comment section below. How do you feel about Coco's inclusion in Kingdom Hearts? Are you hyped? Have you seen the movie before? Coco is one of those movies that every time I see it, I am bawling my eyes out. If you haven't seen it yet, it is one of Pixar's best. And please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Kingdom Hearts content, as I've tirelessly scrubbed through this trailer to uncover all of its juicy secrets. This is every secret in the Kingdom Hearts 4 Coco Trailer Explained.
What color is the sky? Ay mi amor, ay mi amor. You tell me that it's red. Ay mi amor, ay mi amor. Where should I put my shoes? Ay mi amor, ay mi amor. You say, put them on your head. Ay mi amor, ay mi amor. And you make me un poco loco, un poquitito loco. The way you keep me guessing, I'm not you and I'm guessing. I'll count it as a blessing. That I'm only un poco loco.
Wait, what happened?
He's been forgotten. When there's no one left in the living world who remembers you, you disappear from this world. We call it the final death.
Coco is our first official reveal of a Disney world in Kingdom Hearts 4. We did get the underworld in a few trailers before, but nothing confirming they were playable. And I've seen so many posts online about Kingdom Hearts 4 looking too realistic. If you've played the games, you know that's because Sora's away from the world that we're used to, and he takes on a more realistic look in Quadratum. But those fears are now put to rest with Coco feeling like a traditional Kingdom Hearts world. I cannot think of a better inclusion in Kingdom Hearts 4 than Coco, with the entire premise being centered around the afterlife, and Coco's entire theme being around how we handle the passing of the ones we love. There's so much connection between the main narrative and a Disney world. Kingdom Hearts 4 is already off to a great start, and in the trailer we get a recreation of a scene from Coco. And wow, I mean, Kingdom Hearts has cooked in the past with their scene remakes, but I was struggling to find out which one was the game and which one was the movie. Kudos to the art team, it's impressive how you're able to capture that exact feeling. This is also interesting because this is the first time a Pixar world is seeming to use the same plot as the movie, as previous Pixar inclusions in Kingdom Hearts more so focused on telling original stories. When in the Toy Story world, you visit a game story completely separate from the Toy Story movies. And when in Monsters Inc., Sora appears after the main conflict of that movie, where the factory has transitioned into a place harvesting the laughter of children instead of their screams. So I think it's interesting they're going with the movie's plot for this one. I think it goes back to the narrative of the movie just being so perfect for Kingdom Hearts, so they opted to keep it the same because it fit the main narrative so well. This is something to keep an eye out for if they add more Pixar worlds into the future. Also, this scene doesn't have the tequila like in the movie. Small alcohol reference in my Kingdom Hearts, but they didn't include the drink itself? How sad. We get this shot of Miguel running towards the stage, and we can get a glimpse of the background of the world. The way the colors pop, I couldn't believe it. The vistas are so grand in this game and you can see it all throughout the trailer. You can also see these things in the shape of Ernesto. He's a prominent character in Coco, a famous celebrity worshipped by the local community, but these head-shaped things just look scary. Are they balloons? Maybe you're able to throw them? Or maybe they get controlled by the Heartless. Still, just wanted to point that out. Then we get a sign on the back translating into Sunrise Spectacular, only for today. And we get another look at Ernesto's full body on the side over here. This being another pull directly from the movie. I wonder if they're going to translate the sign into English when the full game comes out, or if they're going to leave it like this for all the versions. Next up, we get another scene from the movie, where Miguel is playing on stage in front of all the dead. So the song he plays, Un Poco Loco, is heavily copyrighted by Disney. So I won't be playing any of that for this, but it's still a great track. If you look closely into the crowd, you can see Sora cheering. Look at our boy having the time of his life. And we get our better look at the land of the dead. Once again, I have to give props to the art department for this. They really nailed the look of the original Disney film in such a commendable way. This is when the Shadow Heartless appear, making the first time we're seeing them in this game. We might have seen their Quadratum versions in previous trailers, but these are the classic shadow creatures we know and love from older games. Sora jumps into the crowd and starts fighting against them. The cutscene direction seems to be more action focused this time around. I feel like a lot of these trailers have Sora doing more than just standing around. It's nice to see the Kingdom Hearts games feel a bit more animated. I also love the small details of the crowd's reaction of him looking as he jumps in. They don't even flinch when they see the Heartless, but Sora scares the hell out of them. Same thing with this lady who is dancing here, but stops after Sora attacks the Heartless. So turns out there might actually be a lore reason for this. In Kingdom Hearts 1, you'll get Ansem reports throughout the worlds. These are text documents that give you more lore surrounding the Kingdom Hearts universe. In Ansem Report 4, it says this: the Heartless appear in groups and are multiplying rapidly. I've provided them with both living and non-living samples. They've only responded to the living. They seem to multiply after absorbing something from the living creature. So in this case, the Heartless aren't attacking the folk because they are non-living. They're also not directly provoking them, and the people aren't reacting because they don't see the Heartless as a threat. We get a similar concept in Kingdom Hearts 1 during Halloween Town, where they aren't as scared of the Heartless and are more so using them for their own amusement. I think that idea is being revisited here, and I think that would be really cool. There are also small differences between the English and the Japanese trailers, one of which you can see the crowd watching the concert is a bit different between the two versions. I imagine because the crowd is randomly generated every time you're in this section. They did a similar thing in Kingdom Hearts 3 during the Tangled section, where the crowd would be different upon replays of the games. It's possible that this is a part we can redo if it functions like a minigame. Still, thought that was important to mention. Miguel finishes up his song, and the footage transitions into the Kingdom Hearts 4 title card, with it being the same version that we got in the recent teaser trailer. I imagine this will be used for all future trailers to make a good transition. And for a good transition, it was used for indeed. So these next few shots, they seem to be a higher caliber. These are more so in line with the Kingdom Hearts opening movies than the rest of the trailer. Meaning this might have been our first look at Kingdom Hearts 4's opening movie. That in itself is exciting because that means we're probably getting a new Yutaro Hikaru song. I'm ready to add something into my collection of bangers. The first shot is one we've seen played out several times over, showing a hooded man standing on a hill while facing off in the distance. This is likely the Master of Masters from Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. We've seen this area replayed so many times over at Daybreak Town, so it looks like it'll get a key visual in the opening. The next shot shows the butt of a dandelion flying away, and the dandelion has been a major player in the Kingdom Hearts series, as this is the name of the group of exceptional keyblade wielders. In Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, the dandelions were sent out into the world to maintain their lives once the Keyblade War happened. They were sent to run away while everything else was being destroyed and focus more on surviving. And when looking at this trailer, it looks like this mission was successful. The next shot shows Sora turning his head and looking towards the sky. And oh my god, look at my boy, look at him! It's always nice to see him in the pretty pre-rendered engine, and he looks as dapper as ever. It was a real treat to see this one. When looking at him turn his head, it did remind me a lot of the opening from Kingdom Hearts 1. And this game is seeming to pull a lot of references from that game specifically. This definitely can't be a coincidence. Also, if you look closely into his eyes, you can see this white square. The first place my brain went to is the door to light. It's possible that in this opening, the door to light is a way for him to get back. So we're seeing a small tease of that lingering feeling of getting back. Then we get this stunning visual of Quadratum, with the cityscape in a distance seeming like an endless ocean. It matches the visual dreaminess I'm used to with Kingdom Hearts openings. The city skyline looking like an ocean leans into a lot of older Kingdom Hearts themes, like in the opening where Sora is submerged in water to arrive somewhere else. It happens in most of the Dive to the Heart sections of the game. So with this likely being the opening, I think the ocean is supposed to represent that transition into a new area. This view in particular looks a lot like the view from Shibuya Sky. This is a place in the real world with an observation deck that oversees the city. So this can take place in that area. Also, this can be a reimagining of what we saw in the first Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, where you see Sora and Strelitzia are looking out into the city. I think this is that moment being fully realized and taken out of the conceptual stage. Next shot, we get Sora and Strelitzia standing on the city street, and we're back to the game looking like its normal graphical quality. We also get a look at Sora's phone, which looks a lot sleeker than the gummy phone we were using in Kingdom Hearts 3. And the camera on the phone has this Mickey Mouse logo on it. Even when Kingdom Hearts takes place outside of Disney's reality, Mickey finds a way to sell phone cases across the barrier. The design of this phone also has this black pattern, and we've seen this look used a lot for Kingdom Hearts material. And Strelitzia has a white phone matching her outfit and her color scheme. I appreciate that they made their phones match with their outfits, very drippy of them. In the trailer, Sora says,
"They're asking for Dandelion Dispatch."
And it looks like our Dandelion connection has come full circle. It seems like the Dandelion Dispatch are called upon when darkness is attacking the city, and Sora's probably working with them to help them yield the threat. What if it functions kind of like how side missions work in the Spider-Man games, where you get notified of Dandelion Dispatch being needed, and an alert goes off on your phone, so you head to that location to deal with the Heartless. Nomura has mentioned that during the panel, Kingdom Hearts 4 will have a lot of options to use when exploring the city. So it's possible these might function as a side quest to complete. I do think it would be a great bit of extra material to do, and we also get a closer look at Strelitzia. It's kinda insane how much she's changed since her debut, and I think the graphics do this character well. Considering her initial debut was from a phone game, this is the upgrade of the century. But we also get a better look at the side of her phone, kinda giving us the same Kingdom Hearts pattern I mentioned earlier, but this time in white. The camera jumps to another shot of Sora, and if you look closely, you can see a keychain on Sora's phone, and it looks like it's in the shape of Jiminy Cricket. So Jiminy is the fourth member of the Trinity Trio, as he joins Sora, Donald, and Goofy on their adventures, and he documents everything that happens inside of his journal. And in the game, you can go through this journal to find any important information you need. I'm thinking that the keychain means that the phone is going to function like Jiminy's journal. It will keep track of your progress and show you any important reports that you might find. and you can see destruction is already happening in the city over there. Buildings are on fire and dark orbs are lingering in the air. The next shot shows our heroes looking up while airships fly by, and these are the same airships from the previous trailer. The designs look like they came right out of Final Fantasy Versus 13, and they're pulling up in a similar scenario, looking like they're flying towards the threat. You can also hear an announcement come from the airship.
A dark side has appeared near shipyard station.
So this confirms that this is indeed the same dark side enemy that we've known for years. Still, it's nice to know for sure. A lot of people were thinking this was just a supremely souped up version. Next shot shows what seemed to be them trying to place the dark side inside of a barrier. The patterns on the shield look very similar to a barrier, but this is clearly not enough since the dark side shatters it with no problem at all. In the last trailer, I mentioned this star constellation design appearing in the background, and it looks like it's back in this trailer too, likely being a defensive measure against this dark side, or maybe even the barrier they attempted to use. Now we see the dark side in full frontal force attacking the city with dark orbs. The destruction is shaking the city streets and sending pedestrians into panic. Then we see a bus falling off a highway, quickly cutting to Sora running inside of the bus. Here we can get another look at Sora's watch. While the role of this watch is unknown, it is likely working in tandem with the other smart devices that Sora owns. So this is likely another item in that tech ecosystem that works with it all. Not Sora giving into capitalistic hype. Anyway, and we see Sora jump out of the front window of the bus into the air, holding a lady in his arms while she's holding her pet cat. Now, this shot is just so dope. I think a lot of Kingdom Hearts 4 has been leaning on superhero imagery more than any other Kingdom Hearts games to come before it. We see Sora jumping into danger when others are running away, we see him leaping in front of pedestrians to keep them safe, and we see him jump from building to building using his chain. Now this shot of him leaping out of a bus with someone in his arms. You cannot tell me that this doesn't feel just like Spider-Man. I think all of this is leading to the eventual inclusion of Spider-Man. If they put Spider-Man in Kingdom Hearts, I think I would die of excitement. Anyway, enough of the tinfoil hat. You also get a better look at his shoes, and there is a certain melancholy I have about this. Since Sora's shoes are usually massive and yellow, they finally gave him some normal looking shoes to match the vibe of the normal looking world. I get it thematically, but I'll never forget you clown shoes. The next few shots we get a better look at the Heartless enemies. Just even the way they're forming is super uncanny. These are much more scary looking than what we've seen in older games. And you can even see that they distort the area that they appear in. You can see this vending machine in the air, shattered but remaining in place, and all the cars are wrapped up in this material. I think these cars looking so polygonal looking is on purpose too. This isn't like normal darkness taking over like we've seen before. What if darkness literally breaks reality in this world? It's the logic of the real world interacting with something that shouldn't be here, and is literally breaking down as a response. No wonder there's a dandelion dispatch. This sounds really frightening to deal with. And if these are supposed to be the regular shadows in this reality, that's an insane upgrade in their aura. There's also this blue turbine looking thing in the background, and I can't put my finger on what it could be. I've seen folks say that it's something from the airships to help them fight against the darkness. I've also seen that this is something that they used to summon the barrier around the boss, but it didn't work. So I'm gonna leave the question to you guys. What on earth is this thing?
Polly! Behind you!
Sora has confirmed that this character is Vali. He showed up in the last trailer and many speculated on his identity. But there it is in full force. This black-haired gentleman is Vali. This character debuted in the Kingdom Hearts mobile games and is an upperclassman to Xehanort who met an untimely death in that game. So here he is, given the full mobile game to Kingdom Hearts 4 upgrade. And it looks like Sora and Vali are working together to fight against the Heartless. Next up, we cut back to the Coco world. We see Miguel, Hector, and Sora riding on the tram. And wow, I cannot get over how beautiful this world looks. I already know when I get my hands on this game, I'm going to be looking deep into those backgrounds. And this is another moment pulled directly from the film. All the attention to detail really leans into this one being something special. In the film, Miguel and Hector ride on the tram to get to the stage, meaning this is likely taking place before the gameplay sequence we saw earlier. So this means Sora will likely join up with Hector and Miguel pretty early on. Also, it's nice to see Sora smiling. All the other Kingdom Hearts 4 material has showed Sora just being super serious, so it's nice to see that he's actually going to have a good time in this game. And we've also got to talk about Sora's design. It's important to mention that he's not considered dead in this universe. All of the dead characters have their bones exposed in this world, but rather Sora has paint on similar to Miguel. In Coco, Miguel has his face painted by Hector so he can walk amongst the dead without being recognized. I imagine this is going to be the same thing with Sora, meaning that Sora's world design is not being changed by magic. In Kingdom Hearts, when entering a new world with Donald and Goofy, Donald uses his magic to match the look of the world that they're entering. This is to maintain the world order so they can move discreetly. But this is a Kingdom Hearts game where Sora doesn't have Donald, meaning Donald's magic isn't around to apply the world order outfit. This is why Sora's outfit remains the same when he's here and when he's in Quadratum. It is possible Sora arrived at this world looking normal, but then encountered Hector and Miguel, and they painted his face so he can fit in too. I also appreciate the crown and the heart on his cheeks, being longtime icons for the series. And there's a lot to unpack about this design, but I'll save it for later. The next one shows us this beautiful animation of Sora getting the Coco keyblade. And wow, this has to be one of the most gorgeous keyblades I've ever seen. The pink guitar acting as the base of the blade, with the handguard being in the shape of a skull, and all the red and orange flowers that are flowing out as particle effects, these being called marigold flowers. In the context of Coco, this is what the bridge is made of that connects the world between the living and the dead. Marigold flowers act as the lifeline between the two. I think the design is great, absolutely no notes. But this also introduces something pretty strange. Sora doesn't usually obtain the world's keyblade like this. In previous Kingdom Hearts games, you're given the keyblade after beating the world. It kinda just pops up on screen and there it is in your inventory. It's only back in Kingdom Hearts 1 where you're actually given keychains to equip. But this cutscene is designed to show Sora getting this keyblade. You see all the music notes surrounding him before it appears, meaning this might be the first time we get the world's keyblade in the middle of the world visit. You can see earlier in the trailer, Sora is using the Kingdom Key. So displaying it like this is clearly on purpose. It's possible that this means the new keyblades are now tied into the game's narrative, versus being a completion bonus. In my opinion, that is a great addition to the story. It would give each keyblade a lot more relevance in the plot if they're given to us more organically. Of course, this could also mean nothing. It's possible they just showed this in the trailer as a method of promotion, showing off the Coco keyblade in the Coco world. But I don't know, that scene where it appears in Sora's hands, that's gotta mean something. It then cuts to Sora fighting a boss in an on-rail battle. You can see the Coco keyblade in action with Sora riding on top of it, and the keychain being directly attached to the enemy. We get a better look at the command menu design for this world, with this being the Coco version of it, showing the guitar coming out of the side, and you get the jump dodge prompt to get to different railings to attack. So something I noticed about these newer trailers are the button prompts. In older trailers, you can tell what platform the game is going to be played on, but these new trailers swapped out the console icons in favor of something more neutral. I mean, it makes a lot of sense considering this game will be multi-platform on nearly everything. You also get a better look at Sora's Coco design in the HUD. You can see that crown and heart nice and clearly, and I also noticed Sora gets a bit more of his color back in his hair. It seems like his colors become a bit more vibrant, even for his hair, when he heads back into the Disney worlds. And you can see the map in action while this battle is going on. On top of seeing Sora's arrow ride through the city, there's also an indicator on the map to show when Sora can use the jump dodge. This is a great way to keep track of when it's getting closer. But, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really a big fan of bosses like this in the Kingdom Hearts series. On-rail battles just aren't as entertaining as being on the ground. You lose a lot of your kit in battle, which makes these feel kinda flat. This one reminded me a lot of the Spalakin fight from Kingdom Hearts 3D. You need to hunt this bird down as he flew from you, and it felt like I never had enough time. Insanely frustrating boss fight. I hope this one isn't nearly as bad. Now let's talk about the boss itself. The first thing my brain went to for its design is that it looks like an alebrije. These are brightly colored Mexican folk art sculptures, and in the context of Coco, these are spirit guides, some of which function as their family's protectors in the afterlife. I'm thinking this one looks like a heartless version of one of those. But if you look closer, doesn't this part of his body look like a guard armor? It kinda looks like one of his limbs. I don't know, there's just something about that purple arm that just feels familiar. Remember that for later. Next up, it looks like we get a team attack with Hector. These are common when teaming up with a Disney character in their world, and this one is called Piñata Magica before it disappears from the menu. They're jumping around, stringing enemies into the air, before slashing the piñata in a big flash. If you look closely in the explosion, you can find a Mickey Mouse icon. I do wonder if this game will have something like the Lucky Emblems. And I absolutely adore this little pose Hector does at the end, and people were wondering, how is Miguel supposed to fight? Well, if you zoom in the back here, he'll use his guitar to start swinging. And we get a look at the HUD with Miguel and Hector in the party. It's certainly a weird feeling seeing Sora team up without Donald and Goofy, and their separation is being highlighted through the gameplay here. And there is something new in regards to Sora's HP. If you look closely, you can see a white line at the end of his health bar. This looks like an indicator to show you that you're not actually at full HP, making it much easier to determine how much is actually missing. It's a nice little graphical change that I do appreciate. Now let's take a look at the Heartless in the scramble. First, you'll notice a familiar face from Kingdom Hearts 3, as the Parasol Beauties make their return. Honestly, they're one of my favorite newer designs, so that was a pleasant surprise. But then we get a new Heartless, this purple bird with maracas in their hands, and it looks like they have even more maracas on the side of their head as ears. The top of their head is in the shape of a music note, and they have colorful wings, similar to the boss we saw earlier. The gameplay is more focused on the team attack, so we can't exactly see what they can do in action. But still, I really dig the Heartless design for this Coco world. And if you look at the map, look who it is! And there's Moogle, the shopkeeper from Final Fantasy who has appeared in every Kingdom Hearts game. This is likely where you can buy potions and items for yourself. This is the first Final Fantasy character confirmed for Kingdom Hearts 4. Yippee! Moogle has money to make, doesn't matter where in reality it is. And this does look like a scripted fight. There's this meter in the top left that reacts to the more hits Sora lands, likely being the crowd's reaction to Sora's performance in battle. Battle will probably end once the meter is full. Then we dive into King Mickey standing inside of a library. Now we've seen King Mickey in this area before in previously released screenshots, as Mickey is in Scala Kylum looking for a way to find Sora. There's something really special about the lighting in this moment. It feels so perfect and appropriately in tone with the rest of the atmosphere. I feel like Kingdom Hearts 3 has flatter lighting in some of the cutscenes, but this looks way more natural and dynamic. It shows how far this team has gone with the engine that they're working with. And we can see that Mickey has a brand new outfit, this time swapping out the plaid design for more leather. And his shirt is white this time instead of the black, giving him a more red jacket for the top layer, and a pair of black pants to round it out. I appreciate how subtle this change is. You probably wouldn't have noticed at first glance. I think sticking to the basis of his Kingdom Hearts 3 look was a good idea. Then we get a look at a blue book that opens up on a shelf, and the book sucks Mickey inside of it. I don't know what it is about Mickey in particular, but he's always getting pulled into something. But what exactly is this book? When looking at it, the colors and the design remind me a lot of young Xehanort. The icon in the middle seems to be in the shape of an hourglass, and these specific blue colors look a lot like the color of his keyblade and his whip. It is possible that these books belong to young Xehanort, and now they're finding a way to help out Mickey from far away, with this book being in Skala Edkylum, the world where Xehanort trained in his youth. So it's not far-fetched to think that this might belong to him. It's also kinda insane the redemption arc they're setting up for Xehanort. Him being on our side was never something that I would have expected. And we finally have our first look at Playable Mickey. We see this area is the interior of a book, with the pages making up the walls and all the interactables. And we can see Mickey's command deck. At this time, attack is the only thing available, but we can get a better look at the design of this command menu, as it's supposed to look like the Skala Edkylum library, with a bit of magic in the air, showing how Mickey is getting in and out of the books. I think we'll be jumping into books more than just this instant, and Mickey is using his Star Cluster Keyblade, his new default one moving forward since Kingdom Hearts 3. And we can get a small look at the level by taking a glance at the map. Very square looking rooms, almost like the levels are made from a diorama. And then we have this paper icon with a 0 out of 5 alongside it. This icon is present throughout the entire Mickey section and has different amounts required depending on the moment in the trailer. So this is possibly a collectible, ones that you can find within each section. There's a lot of puzzle solving elements throughout this gameplay, so maybe these are extra tasks you can do to find all the pages, and grabbing them all will likely reward you with something later. When you see King Mickey pass these boxes, they'll have a yellow indicator to show that Mickey can log onto them. Unknown what's on the inside, probably HP or money, but the designs of these boxes lean into the whole paper thing that they got going on. As Mickey is walking, there'll be a moment where his keyblade disappears, and at the same time, you can see his health icon disappear alongside it. This can mean that the HP bar will only appear when you're in combat situations, which is a nice touch. I appreciate the extra room to take the world in when it disappears. I do imagine this is something that you could turn on and off in the settings, hopefully. Then Mickey finds a pin and interacts with it, causing this bridge to appear. First off, a pin? I think that's a weird thing to have inside of a book. But then if you think about it for a bit, people might have pins inside of their own journals, as a way to keep track of important information, leaning onto this belonging to Xehanort, and potentially the journal that he wrote in. Still, I think the presentation for this section is a dream come true. I'm a die-hard Paper Mario fan, and this looks exactly like that. This entire King Mickey section feels like a love letter to that style of game. And seeing my favorite franchise use Paper Mario type mechanics, it's like they designed this specifically to make me happy. I couldn't even comprehend what was going on when I saw it the first time.
I can't even process what I'm looking. My peep, it's.
Then there's also the look of the bridge. Dark white rectangles with a stained glass in the upper section, and this looks a lot like the final door from Kingdom Hearts 1, the one they closed after defeating Ansem at the end of the game. Not sure if this is a coincidence, but if this is actually Xehanort's book, this would make a lot of sense. Next up, we get a 2D platforming section with Mickey. Like, are you kidding me? Taking my favorite things and just blessing me with more of it? In this case, reminding me a lot of Super Paper Mario. And there are small HUD changes to reflect this gameplay style, with sheets of paper flying out of a book. Then you get a Back to Mickey icon, as this paper version is likely being controlled by the bigger King Mickey, and you can go back to him once you're done problem solving. I do appreciate the animation for Paper Mickey. His frame rate is a bit slower, giving it a real paper crunchiness to its movements. I think it looks great. And you get these two icons on the bottom right next to his health. You can see the yellow one that we're currently playing as is currently pinned. You also get this blue Mickey transformation that's likely another gameplay type, but this form isn't present in the trailer. So during the Kingdom Hearts D23 panel, they mentioned a few other forms that Mickey could take, including the form of a paper airplane. And I imagine there's a lot of other gameplay types to be revealed in the future. I also appreciate the little Mickey hand appearing to give you directions. The way it pops in the book is a really nice touch. On the next scene, we get a paper mache Mickey, as a giant red Mickey is running into things and destroying them. On the HUD, the red icon also has the pin alongside it to show that it's active. And Mickey's not too far out this time. There's a throw command that's grayed out, possibly used to pick up and throw stuff for puzzle solving, but maybe you could even throw Mickey himself? I think that could be a lot of fun to angle. There's also this big Mickey icon on the floor here, likely where you need to go to activate this form. Still, everything I've seen from this Mickey gameplay has me excited. It's a great chance to expand the game and the gameplay without having to add new worlds. I think it's a pretty creative solution. Then we get Donald and Goofy talking to Hades in the underworld, asking him if this is where Sora ended up. Now, we've seen this scene play out in almost every trailer, but now it's finally confirmed that Hades is involved with the whole thing. It was heavily teased, but it's good to see him in action after all these years of speculation. And Donald and Goofy maintain their bounciness here. I appreciate when the Disney characters are a bit more animated. You get stuff like Donald's hat flying in the air when he's surprised. I love seeing stuff like this. Next gameplay scenario is pretty unbelievable, and makes perfect sense why they didn't include it in the first teaser trailer, but rather waited for the big trailer to show it off. For the first time ever, Donald and Goofy are playable characters. And before you start spamming, they were in days in the mission mode. Yes, I know that, but that was just in a side mode, not even the main story. This is the first time they're playable in a mainline numbered title. They are finally getting the chance to put more respect on their name. And this could open up the gameplay for Kingdom Hearts 4 massively. And it's also confirmed that the Underworld is a playable world in Kingdom Hearts 4. We weren't sure if it was only going to appear throughout the cutscenes, but nope, here it is in a playable fashion. You can see the HUD for the Underworld features torches and the world font, and it looks like you'll be sliding downhill avoiding obstacles along the way. This reminded me a lot of the Frozen slider from Kingdom Hearts 3. You can see Goofy riding on top of a shield, but Donald is using ice magic to make his path to follow. Now this is so brilliant and a great use of the character's abilities. Donald leaps over lava here, but it looks like Goofy collides with something down here. Maybe he accidentally hit the attack button. Then we get some Donald Duck ground combat. I genuinely cannot believe what I'm talking about right now. Nomura said, y'all keep complaining about Donald not healing you? Do it yourself then. The combat falls right in line with Donald, with him using his staff to conjure up ranged attacks. Looking at it, the combo animation reminds me a lot of the Shooting Star Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts 3, in the way you keep moving while still sending out projectiles, the smaller stars being the string with the big star counting as the finisher. And he's battling against Shadow and Soldier Heartless. And it's great to see that the soldiers are back in the mix. And we get the return of the enemy indicator. This was shown off in the last teaser trailer, and it appears to show that an enemy is attacking behind Donald. This is a fight where you need to defeat a wave of enemies to advance. And tying this up with the last scene even makes it more entertaining. As you can see Hades in the background, sitting on his throne, enjoying the show. Maybe it's one of those, I'll tell you what I know if you could beat my challenge type thing. When looking at the command menu, the torches are now red to indicate combat, and Donald has a new slot in his kit called Combat Style, this replacing the position of build when we're playing as Sora. I'm thinking this would allow you to change between different ways Donald can attack. Like the version of Donald that's fighting in the trailer is using the combat style of a Shooting Star Keyblade. Maybe you can pick one that changes his combat style to be more in line with something like Wisdom Form. Still, this being the fourth slot means that it has to be something important. And the next shot showing that Goofy is also playable, and it looks like you can switch between these two with the press of a button. This reminded me a lot of the gameplay from Final Fantasy VII Remake, where you can switch between party members on the fly in battle. And the magic slot is taken up by a new skill slot. Skills also being reflected in the change to the MP bar, shifting it to say SP instead. Now, if I had a theory, I think these will be quick attacks that he can do. I imagine something like the moves you can get for the command deck in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. A fast attack that's powerful but takes away from the speeder. It would be a great combination of mechanics from Birth by Sleep if that was the case. And oh my god, my man's got combos! Like, what do you mean he basically drop kicks you with the shield mid-string? These attacks look beefy. He looks like he'll be a ton of fun to play. And you can see his shield will glow green during some of his attacks. I'm so happy they're giving this level of depth and flair to the fellas. Then we get a team attack between the two, called Fusion Spin, where the duo take the Goofy shield and go absolutely ballistic. Another returning classic Heartless, the large body, makes an appearance. You can see them scrambling in the background during this attack. I also appreciate the detail of Donald sending out fireworks at the end. It reminds me a lot of Fantasia, his limit from Kingdom Hearts 2. Firework explosions batter the enemy and keeps them sustained in the air. It's dope if that's an homage to that move. And when the enemy is defeated, they'll drop money to grab. I wonder if this counts towards the total money in the game. Like, does Sora also have access to this money? I imagine for convenience sake, it's all gonna be the same wallet. The next shot is Vali, Sora, Strelitzia, and Donald and Goofy appearing as Force Ghost. I know I'm not the only one who sees the implication here. And this scene looks like it takes place after the battle from earlier, as it's later in the day indicated by the sun setting, and it seems like Sora is the only one who can see Donald and Goofy, and Sora passes out on the pavement with his new friend screaming in panic. Now, there's a lot of things that this could mean. The running theory is that there's something wrong with Sora's memories. Upon entering Quadratum, it seems Sora got sent back to level 1, so it's not improbable to think this might have affected his memories too. But not in the way where he forgot about his friends, but rather those memories are dormant inside of him, and seeing Donald and Goofy awoke such a strong feeling inside of him, causing his brain to break and make him pass out. We don't know the rules of this reality just yet, but maybe this new world is messing with his mind in more ways than we think. Alternatively, this could be how Sora enters the dream worlds. He falls asleep in a sense like he does in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, since this reality seems so far away from the fantastical ones of the Disney worlds. It might be something being conjured up in his sleep, and it's not like Sora can just take the gummy ship this time around. There has to be a way for him to get to these worlds. So sleep and death have been mentioned in the Kingdom Hearts series a lot in tandem, so maybe this is Sora's method of getting back to the Disney realms. Overall, we'll just have to wait and see. What do you guys think? Let me know. Next frame is an all-time favorite for your boy. Donald and Goofy appear in the Coco world in their own custom outfits. We saw earlier in the trailer that Donald and Goofy weren't present in Sora's party, but they have arrived in this world searching for their boy! Donald even saying they're gonna have a hard time in a big world like this. So let's talk about these outfits for a second, because this clothing looks like Donald's magic in full effect. Goofy is given a bow tie and a button-down shirt with some clean black pants, and you can see him repping the boy with the Mickey emblem on his belt. And then you look at Donald, another fly gentleman at the function, the black mixing with the blue on the blazer. This might be my favorite fits for these characters, period. My point is, these outfits look like they have a lot more effort put into them than Sora's. Sora is just his normal outfit with the face paint on top of it. I really think Sora looks like this because he isn't with Donald and Goofy. I feel like they would have made Sora look way more dripped out. Also, you can see Donald's tail poking out of him. I love this detail, man. This sequence taking place at the Marigold Bridge. In the film, this was a way for ancestors to cross into the world of the living during the Day of the Dead. And the attention to detail is crazy, as all the NPC characters on the bridge are walking towards Donald and Goofy and away from the world. They're all leaving to go see their relatives, while Donald and Goofy are ready to take the dive, doing whatever it takes to bring Sora home. I love Kingdom Hearts, man. Next shot shows us a hooded figure approaching young Xehanort in the Night City streets.
Whoa! Here's a surprise. You're looking pretty good for an old coot.
And the voice sounds a lot like Xigbar from Kingdom Hearts 2. His face is hidden, but I still believe this character looks like Xigbar. So Xigbar is Lushu, and Lushu is known to jump between characters to look different. If Lushu got a new body, wouldn't that mean his voice would also be different too? Who knows? We get a better look at young Xehanort in some of his casual wear, with this one looking very similar to his outfit from Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. It sounds like my man needs to do some laundry, like how old is this fit? And Xigbar says Xehanort is looking good for an old man, which is ironic since Xigbar is considerably older than Xehanort is. Xehanort lived one full life. Who knows how many lives Lushu has lived? Lushu's return was inevitable, so it's dope to see him messing with his old boss. And we enter the final sequence of the trailer. 3 dark sides are attacking Sora in Shibuya. So I'm gonna let the footage run first because there's a lot to unpack here.
Sigurd!
So now we know for sure that this character is Sigurd. He was shown off in the last teaser trailer that they dropped, and he's a character that shows up at the end of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. And he looks like he doesn't want any of this smoke. That's a look of absolute fear that I cannot shake. Like, this is something that looks like it's way above his pay grade. But there might be some merit to that actually. So the keyblade he's holding is called Light Order. This was a keyblade introduced in the Cancel Phone game, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. In that game, different keyblades were broken up into different gameplay styles. The Light Order was more focused on ranged attacks, playing keep away rather than approaching the enemy directly. I'm thinking this could be tied to his character type, someone who would rather be behind a desk than thrown into the front lines. In Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, Scala was also full of researchers doing their part, so it's possible he falls in line with the researcher type. Then again, he did look a lot more confident in the previous trailer. He was there when the city was being attacked, and he looks like he's all alone. Maybe this fear is all a facade he's throwing up in front of people. Sigurd is going to be an interesting character to take a look at as the time passes. There's also a moment when Sora is fighting back against smaller Heartless. Once again, they're really doing a lot with the animation this time. Good to see so much action displayed. Then we see these soldiers with a lance standing behind a riot shield, seeming as they're doing their part to fight against the darkness, these likely being the folks from the airships we saw earlier. And this is another connection to Final Fantasy Versus 13, but this one might be the most insane out of all of them. So these aren't just models that represent a placeholder for Nomura, so he has like a legal friendly way to tell his story. No. These are the exact designs from Final Fantasy 15. From the padding on the suit to the lines running all through it, this isn't just some interpretation. It's the real deal. Like, is that even legal? Nomura has been dealing with the loss of his Final Fantasy Versus 13 for a long time, and Kingdom Hearts 4 is looking like an outlet for that grief. But this being so identical to the games they're supposed to be representing. This is Nomura in full force. Then we get 3 Heartless jumping at Strelitzia. And oh lord, I thought the Shadow Heartless was scary enough. This new Raven one they have is straight up nightmare fuel. We did see Raven feathers in a previous trailer, showing them falling out of the sky, so it is possible that this enemy has a connection to those. Or these are just another real-world interpretation of a Heartless that we've seen before. Before getting jumped, we can see for a moment that Strelitzia is trying to manifest her Keyblade. We don't get the full design, but we do see the outline in light. At first, I thought this was the Starlight Keyblade, a Keyblade known to be used by many during the Age of Fairy Tales. But the outline is a bit too bulky to match it. Rather, I think this might be the Starlight Keyblade after a few upgrades. In Union Cross, you could upgrade your Keyblade and it would change the look of it. And this one looks like she's about to max it out. This can show her growth as a Keyblade wielder from the last time we've seen her. Then the dark side charges up a punch and lets it fly. We hear screams of horror take over the streets, but then we see the truth. Riku.
My son!
He spawns in at the last moment to save the day. I thought these guys were cooked, like the dark side succeeded in taking their hearts. And Riku arrives with a brand new outfit. I think the design philosophy for Riku is the same as Mickey's. The main design looks relatively the same, but there's smaller outliers to show the difference. There's no more plaid being replaced with a more solid color, and it looks like no more jacket and we got him in a short sleeve shirt, and no more gloves, this time bringing along the wristband. The design on his shirt is one that we've seen before too, being the main design they use when pushing Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Heck, his shirt looks like a Kingdom Hearts 3DS. Maybe he's pulling up in this game to be a Dream Eater again, who knows? And he's using the Braveheart keyblade, his new default since Kingdom Hearts 3. I know a lot of people have beef with it looking like a car key, but it perfectly sums up Riku's character and the journey he took to get that keyblade. It's his version of the Kingdom Key, and I think it fits perfectly. This is also the first time we've seen the Kingdom Hearts 3 secret ending play out like this. Riku appeared in the streets of Quadratum all those years ago, and this is the first instance of that image being realized. Riku appearing like this was a beautiful note to end the trailer on. The framing of him against 3 Darkseid? This is the aura farming shot that will feed generations. And it concludes with the Kingdom Hearts 4 title card, and the confirmation of a release date in late 2027. So during the Kingdom Hearts panel, Nomura said he's basically had enough of us clowning him online, and he doubled down that Kingdom Hearts 4 will not be delayed, stating that production is going much smoother than anticipated. So we'll just have to wait and see if that's true. Mainly because that's an incredibly bold claim to make in front of a live audience. He's absolutely gonna have to keep his word on that one, but I'm choosing to remain optimistic. It's just so exciting that we finally have a period to focus our attention on. Kingdom Hearts 4, late 2027. It's beautiful. And right at the end, we get a brief audio clip.
Sora, wake up and see.
While not confirmed, this sounds a lot like Kairi. It would also make sense picking up from Melody of Memory, where Kairi states she'll be right alongside Sora and Riku when she's ready. Now, what could this line possibly mean? Is everything that Sora is experiencing in Quadratum a dream? Is his physical body somewhere else? It could also lean into the theory of Sora losing his memory, so Kairi is trying to wake him up out of this trance. Still, it's exciting how much potential that line alone has. But yes, that's all the goodies and secrets I could find in the Kingdom Hearts Coco trailer. There are a few extra things I want to bring up about the trailer, some news, theories, speculations, and more about this Kingdom Hearts trailer. So I think Coco will be the first world you visit in the game, and the story for this world will run parallel to the version in Kingdom Hearts 1. In Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora arrives in Traverse Town all by himself, unaware of where he's ended up, and Donald and Goofy are out looking for the key, being sent by their king. We see them travel around the world separately before they meet for the world's boss, the Guard Armor. So what if the Coco world is a retelling of that story? Earlier in the video, I mentioned that the boss from the trailer has the limbs similar to the Guard Armor. What if later in the world, you come across this boss again, this time on a real underground battle? This is when Donald and Goofy appear and join the party. We see them show up in the Coco world anyway, so what if they finally rejoin us at the world's climax? The enemy transforms, similar to the Guard Armor, and we get a moment like their first battle from Kingdom Hearts 1. I think it would be so nice and go full circle, but that also implies that Donald and Goofy would join up with Sora pretty early on. And I think there's a reason for that. With Donald and Goofy being playable now, what if when we rejoin with Sora, you can still switch between the 3 characters in combat on the fly? This would be a massive gameplay addition to Kingdom Hearts 4, and could really make the gameplay potential insane. Think of the combos you could pull with all 3 characters in your hands. Again, the Final Fantasy VII Remake has a gameplay formula just like this. It's not hard to imagine they would bring over this concept for Kingdom Hearts 4. Although, I hope this means we get more playable character sections. Seeing Donald and Goofy in the underworld was dope. King Mickey is getting his own Castle of Illusion section, and I hope they make Riku playable. I feel like this one is pretty obvious. But it would be nice to get smaller sections with the other characters too. Exploring previous worlds with Roxas, Lee, or Aqua. It could be a great chance to revisit older worlds without them needing to be added fully. Keep all the old levels for the side characters, and give Sora all the big juicy new levels. Regardless, I'm excited for all the Donald and Goofy combo videos when the game drops. I also gotta talk about the music in this trailer.
This is a lot of new information. I bet I'll find a clue to saving Sora now.
This is exactly the kind of energy I need for Kingdom Hearts. In fact, the song sounds like it would be made for Final Fantasy VII Remake. There's something so specific about the melodies that feel very familiar to that game. Maybe it's possible we get some guest composers for this one? Kingdom Hearts music always goes hard. Real hyped about all the new stuff we're gonna hear. But yes, we made it! I can't believe we have our first real Disney Kingdom Hearts trailer. And I can't believe I analyzed it. It's been a long 4 years of wondering what this game is going to shape into, but it's so vindicating to finally get some answers after waiting for so long. We were in the Kingdom Hearts drought, and we finally got our buffet. But of course, let me know what you guys think about all this. Is there something I missed in the trailer? A theory that you might want to share? Would love to hear all of that. And thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and stay awesome.
Sora! 2027! There's a release! Dude. That's in 2027! Oh. This is Disney Plus show! I can't even process what I look. Yeah, my peep. It's. Oh shit! Wait! Oh my god! Finally, son! Oh my god! They're coming to get his boy! They're coming to get their boy! My son! That was so good! Yo! That one got me. Playable doll the goofies. That got me, dude. Oh, they're coming to get their boy. They're not playing. They're gonna get their boy. We're gonna get him. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, they're gonna go get him.
Alongside gameplay considerations, how does the team ensure that the Disney characters and worlds